I'm Jill Bach. I'm a 8-year ovarian cancer survivor and the co-founder of Be the Difference Foundation.
I'm Julie Shrell, and I'm a 5-year ovarian cancer survivor and co-founder of Be the Difference Foundation.
And I'm Lynn Lentscher, a 17-year survivor of ovarian cancer and the co-founder of Be the Difference Foundation.
The purpose and the mission of Be the Difference Foundation is to help women in the fight and to give them hope. Our goal is to fund better treatment options for women who are in the fight, researchers who are helping to find a cure, and also to help women get to clinical trials if they need to, and to get awareness out there so that if you get diagnosed with ovarian cancer, you might get diagnosed at an earlier stage than we did.
I was diagnosed when I was 54 years old. I had probably had 6 months of digestive issues that I never recognized. I was seeing my gynecologist every 3 months for hormone replacement therapy and never even thought to talk to him about it.
I was diagnosed at age 48. I started having these weird things happen, pain in my shoulder. Then I started feeling like something was rooting itself in my abdomen. All along I was very tired, frequent urination, which now I know is a symptom of ovarian cancer. And I went to my OB-GYN and got a second opinion. He felt the same way, and I woke up from surgery with stage 3C ovarian cancer. And I'm BRCA1.
I was diagnosed at 44 years of age, and my diagnosis is pretty different from Lynn and Julie's. I started coughing really badly, and I thought that I was just getting a regular cough. The nurse comes in and asks me how long I've been smoking, so at that point I knew something was kind of up. And I go from the, before I even got to the parking lot, my doctor had called me and told me that he had an appointment for me the next day here at Medical City with a pulmonologist to talk to me about next steps. On Friday afternoon, I went and met with the doctor here at Medical City, and they immediately took me down for a needle biopsy. And on Monday morning, I learned that I had cancer, but that the cancer was a gynecologic primary based on the tumor profile. So it didn't even hit me at that point that I had a gynecologic cancer in my lungs. It didn't register to me that that was really advanced stage. Probably more from shock than anything else. Within a week, I had a PET scan that showed that I had a total collapse of my left lung, and that I had cancer all through my abdomen, on my spleen, my kidney, my liver, the lining lymph nodes within my abdomen. And it was determined that I wasn't really a candidate for an immediate debulking surgery like Julie and Lynn had. I had to go through and do my chemo first and then the debulking surgery. So it was a little bit of a different diagnosis.
I think the first advice we would give to anybody is if you have any type of symptoms for more than 2 weeks or anything that's 12 times in a month, that you need to see a doctor, no matter what that doctor is or what that symptom may be. If we had listened to our own advice, we all would have been diagnosed much earlier.
When I was diagnosed, we had been told, oh, it's not, I don't think it's cancer. So we really weren't prepared for cancer. At least no one in the family was. I kind of was, but no one else was. And so we waited a week to tell our children about it because we wanted to go see the oncologist who was going to manage the medicine before we told them what we were in for. And when we did, I have twin daughters, and one of them just burst into tears. One of them was like, her first question was, what color is it? And my son just went silent. And so it was very difficult for my son, especially throughout the process, and really for the last almost 5 years, to deal with the fact that I had had cancer, because he had lost a friend to cancer a year before and a teacher to cancer the year before, and he was just filled with fear. And so he was very angry. My husband just became the caretaker. He was at every appointment, at every chemo. He was always worried about how I was feeling, and when there were days where at the beginning I was afraid to touch anything because I didn't want to get sicker, and he was very understanding about that. It's a very difficult time because nobody really understands it. nobody wants to say the wrong thing, and everybody wants to be helpful. And sometimes you don't know what you need, and they don't know how to help you with it. I think that gynecological cancer, especially, and maybe others too, with your spouse, it changes your sex life. It changes, your relationship with them, and that's been challenging, truthfully. They hurt as much as we do, just in a different way.
I started keeping a blog of really how I was feeling, what I was doing, and I tried to make my friends read my blog to find out how I was doing health-wise, but mentally I wanted, when I talked to them, to talk about anything but cancer. I wanted life to go on as normal as possible, and that's kind of how I've dealt with it. I was more like, I wanted to continue working, I wanted to see my friends, and when I saw my friends talk about their kids and our kids, and have my blog be for my health. And keeping a blog really did help me let out some of the emotions I had, and also kind of put a little humor to the situation, because a lot of people, when they learn that you have cancer, they don't know what to say, and they feel awkward, and they don't know how to talk to you about it. And when they see that you've got a bit of sense of humor about your own predicament, it makes them more relaxed as well.
And I'm always going to be a tower of strength, very courageous, and I'm not going to let someone pity me, if that's the right word. And I had a friend that I worked with who would take me from those moments, because people would cry when they would see me, or they want to know how I was, and he would always lead me a different direction.
You can be here, you can fight it as hard as humanly possible. Our goal with Be the Difference Foundation, which we started together with our friend Helen Gardner, who lost her battle a year ago, we're here to provide hope and to show you that things can be done and we can make a difference, and it takes us to speak out and to share our experiences so that other women will go to the doctor sooner, get diagnosed earlier. There are new treatments that are being developed all the time, new screenings that are being developed all the time, and unless we talk about it, no one else is going to. And when your doctor asks you how you're feeling, you need to tell them.